Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are doing good. Now we are going to talk about how to detect outliers using interquartile range method or IQR method, and we will understand that in deeper way. And if you have not subscribed, guys, please start subscribing. And without delay, let us start with our topic. Now let us understand on how to detect outliers based on your interquartile range method. Now let me take you to the whiteboard. I want to show how that like how that whole thing is coming up. So we understood in our box plot, right, that we have Q1, Q2, Q3. Q2 is nothing but a median, which is a 50% of the data. Q1 is your 25th percentile, Q3 is your 75th percentile. And these are your two whiskers, correct? This one is one whisker. This one is one whisker. This one is another whisker. Then anything above that whisker is your outliers, right? From this side or this side. And this is your minimum, Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR. This is your maximum, Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR, right? And like I said, in G-score what we understood, 3 and minus 3. So you can see all our data is present in between 3 and minus 3. Now we will get back and understand this, how to get it programmatically. So that is again our regular thing. We are importing our libraries. That is the first and foremost thing we have to do, right? Seaborn as SNS, Matplotlib, PyPlot is PLT, Pandas PD, NumPy NP. Then again the same example I have taken, the one which I have explained you through your G-score method. The same thing I have taken, same everything I have did same. Only thing is I want to show you the difference, how G-score and IQR are different. And here I am loading my data set, and you can see these are four features we have: year, country, spending USD, life expectancy. I am getting my data info, and my data info is telling that I do not have any non-null values, and I have all these kind of data types: int, object, float. The next step what I did, I have taken my describe, and I am able to get my mean, standard deviation and everything for all my numerical columns, correct? My describe is not going to show for non-numerical columns. So I got all numerical columns data here. Again, these are the same thing which we saw in our G-score method, that I have taken one line plot where I am showing based on the hue, or the hue based on years, and I am getting to know that USA is having more spending for each year, right? Then in the next one I have shown you the another line plot where it's a normal one, where I am not keeping any hue. I am taking country and life expectancy of that country. And again here I am seeing that USA is having less life expectancy as compared to others. And in the next one I have shown the box plot between country and USD, spending USD, and I am seeing that USA is spending more, the way we have seen in the above line plot. Then in this one I have taken box plot. Again it is giving me the data clear visual, that this side of this side where it's getting deeper based on the years. Around 2020 people are spending more, around $12,000 for in overall. Now we will understand how to calculate IQR. So the first thing what I did here is that I have sorted my data. So how sorting will work, because it is going to give me if I'll take the above and the highest point and the lowest point. If I'll not sort it, the lowest point will come in between and it might be missed, right? So the first thing I did, I have taken my sorted data and I am sorting for these two columns. One is the life expectancy and spending USD, because I can see there are two discrepancies in these two areas only, right? So I need to know my outliers in these two areas. However, I am going to calculate the outliers for spending USD. However, I am sorting it for both. Now, this is what my sorted data is coming up, guys. Okay, now we will see how to calculate. What is the next step, guys? When we are talking about interquartile range, we have to get Q1 point, Q2 point, and Q3 point. Just see, observe this image, right? Q1, this is Q2, this is Q2, and this is Q3. Q1, Q2, and Q3 we are getting. So, how we are getting, guys? Again, that is a percentile, right? We are calculating percentile, and we have in NumPy, these are the mathematical functions, right? Percentile is one more mathematical function, and we have used it np.percentile. What it is expecting? It is expecting data. So I have given sort data. Then I am telling, okay, I need 25 percentile, and it is telling interpolation. Interpolation means from which point it is going to give me, or it is going to calculate the percentile. So I told that from midpoint, because midpoint is my median, right? Then we have, like, we are calculating Q2, again np.percentile. I am telling 50 percentile, so I have given 50. Then interpolation midpoint, then 75 percentile. So I have got my Q1, Q2, and Q3 respected as below. Okay. Now, what is the next step, guys? After calculating Q1, Q2, and Q3, I need to understand my IQR value, right? So, how to calculate that? I need to get a difference of Q3 minus Q1. So, this is a manual method. This is a manual method. I will show you how to get it by SciPy method after this. So, I got my IQR, interquartile range is 2217.478. That means this is the value, this is the cost, or this is the spending USD value which I got. Okay. Now, what is the next step, guys? If I'll get back to the whiteboard, you can see I have to calculate this and this maximum value and minimum value, right? So, same thing I got, low limit and up limit. Low limit is Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR. Up limit is Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR. And I'm printing them. This is what I'm getting. This is what I'm getting. Now, I'm again printing my sort data, and I am keeping that in a data frame. Now I'm getting ahead of it. Again, now is the step where I'm calculating my outliers. Outliers, again, what is the method, guys? We have to get the values which are greater than my upper limit and less than my lower limit. Same thing I have given my input, and what is the input, like what is the output, or what is the data I need? I need for spending USD. So I have given data 1. 1 means it is going to take the spending USD of my matrix, of my array. And x limit, x underscore up limit, x underscore x greater than up limit, my bad, or x less than low limit. I am going to append all my outliers, right? Outlier, I have taken a list, and I'm going to get a list of values. And I'm putting that outlier in a data set, and I'm going to get this. And if I'll remove head, or if I'll just take count, I'm getting 24 outliers, guys. 24 outliers. However, in G-score, we got around 5 or 6 outliers. So just see the effectivity of this. What you are understanding here. We are understanding that G-score is better as compared to detecting outliers, because see, if you get 24 outliers in a data set, right, it is very difficult to manage, right? How you will manage? You cannot manage, right? You have to either remove them, or you have to either treat with by different other methods like logarithmic method, and you need to keep it, you need to standardize those values, right? So I can say that it is very marginal, it is not giving very effective data. And the same thing I'm drawing it here, like whatever the data we have, right, box plot, that data particularly I'm drawing it here, what I'm getting here, just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So only 7 values I'm getting is an outlier, and which is almost equal to our G-score method. However, when I'm doing the interquartile range method, I'm getting from almost from 6,000, and it is giving me that output. So what we understood, for medium data sets or for smaller data sets, box plot is the best method, scatter plot is the best method. And if you go ahead with a very large data set where you cannot detect, you have that thinking in your mind, okay, I need the outliers to know or the anomalies to know, but you cannot detect it. But you have understanding, okay, here I can get, just like the way I did, this G-score method is the preferable one. You can get the outliers easily. Then this is where I can, this is how we can use our SciPy method or SciPy library, and we can import our IQR and we can get it. Again, how to get IQR? We have this method IQR, and I am giving input as short data, right? The same thing which we did in top. Then I'm getting interquartile deviations, IQR divided by 2. Okay, then after that, I am getting my lower bound. This is my formula, lower bound. This is my upper bound. And again, the same method, same formula I have given, guys, and I'm getting the same, the 24 outliers. So this is how we can detect our outliers by using IQR, and this is for your understanding. You might get questions in interviews like what are the different outlier methods and all. So these can be like, you can just go through these videos and understand, and you can answer in your interviews, and we will understand further topics, guys, in our upcoming videos. Till that time, see you. Thank you. Well, that is all for now. We will cover further topics in our upcoming videos. Till that time, see you. Thank you, and start subscribing, like, share your comments, share your feedback, share this channel link to all your friends and near ones and dear ones, so that you will not miss any kind of updates further. And till that time, see you. Thank you. Bye.